Gente, onde estou? Pá, 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 pará. Uhum. Hey there, Teacher Prix here. All right, live video. I'm so excited. I'm making a live video this week. Last week I had some personal things to take care of and I couldn't have a live video, but today I'm here, I'm ready. So I will be waiting for some people to join. In the meantime, I will try to share this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Let's see. How do I share? If you are joining, say hello. Tell me where you're from. I love when you guys participate. Jesus, how do I share this? That's where's the sharing stuff? Yeah, not there. I see some people are joining. That's awesome. Okay, share. Let's share. If you, damn. Okay, I'm gonna share this link. The page, the thumbnail is wrong, but at least live video. Come join me. Nail is wrong. I will talk about prefixes and how they can help your comprehension in speaking. Okay, so I'm just sharing this. If you could also share, that would be awesome. I see some people are joining. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Today, I am going to be talking about prefixes. Okay, and the importance of learning prefixes to help you not just with the speaking, because many times English learners believe that it's good for speaking because you're improving your vocabulary, but it's not just that. It's going to improve your comprehension skills in many different aspects, in your reading skills, in your understanding when you're listening to people, when you're listening to podcasts, or when you're watching movies. So, learning prefixes will be an excellent way to help you master vocabulary that will help you to speak and to understand people. Okay, so I have gathered some lessons, some explanations that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And for the people that are in my email list, tomorrow morning they will probably receive a PDF file with some additional explanations. So, hey, if you are on my weekly newsletter, go there, check it out, because tomorrow morning you will receive vocabulary list with some exercises, with some additional explanations. Basically, the most important points of this masterclass will be there in this file. If you are new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a newsletter where I send weekly materials, lessons, videos, podcasts, and tomorrow I will be sending a PDF file just for the guys who are in that list. How cool is that? All right. Okay, so let me know where you're from, okay? Now let's see here where I'm going to start. Oh yes, as usual, I will start with the explanations and then I will move on to the last part, which is the question and answer. This might be a little shorter than usual, but I will be opening to questions. Make sure to participate here in the comments with comments that are acceptable, okay? And that are okay and that so that everybody can have a good time. Very nice. So many times English learners they have problems to learn vocabulary or to understand articles or to understand conversations. And if you think about it, there are three types of words that you must master if you want to have a better comprehension, both in writing or in spoken language. And I'm going to write this for you here. The first type of word you need to master is noun. The second type of words that you need to master are adjectives. And the third, verbs. So basically, students struggle to learn nouns, adjectives, and verbs. These are the words that, in most of the cases, students don't know very well. They have problems to identify, or they have problems because it's a different word, so they don't know what these words mean. And if you are having problems to communicate, if you have problems to speak because of vocabulary, which I think is a very common problem, you should start focusing on these words. Obviously, there are many different kinds of words, prepositions, or let's see, adverbs. There are so many connectors. But if let's go back to basic, okay? Let's go back to the basic steps. Many times students are very worried about the difficult words and they ignore the easy ones. So these are the bread and butter, okay? The basic words that you need to master. And these words, in many, depending on the level, depending on the materials you watch, depending on the materials you read, they are going to be complicated, okay? And what do I mean by complicated? Maybe you won't know them, okay? And the point is, let me just, okay, let me here. Let's maintain the comments to, let's see. Okay, and then, all right, very well. Let's maintain the comments to English, please. So what was I saying? Ah, yes. And many times the students struggle to learn these words because as you improve your English level and as you start to read more challenging materials, as you start to listen or to watch more challenging materials, these words they become more complex. And today what I want to show you is how you can use learning prefixes to help you improve your comprehension that will consequently help you in conversations and understanding conversations, and also improve your vocabulary. You see, as I always teach you guys, in English, everything is connected, okay? We connect. We connect speaking, we connect vocabulary, we connect writing, we connect grammar. So that combined, all these activities can help you become a better speaker. This is how I like to approach grammar studying in a way that will make you a better speaker. Okay, so I think this is something that you should analyze. So, for example, in the PDF file that I'm going to send the people in my email list, they will have some additional explanation and they will have an exercise that will give them vocabulary for future conversations. So this is the idea of combining vocabulary to help you with speaking. But it's not just vocabulary. These are words that many students come across in texts or in videos or when they listen to podcasts, which are challenging for them. That's why learning prefixes will help you with that. But now let's go back to the prefix thing. What is a prefix? Okay, so let me go down here. What is a prefix? If you know the answer, post here in the chat. What is it? What is a prefix? Okay, right here in the chat. I want to see your answers. Um, Paulito, you're just listening in English. That's great. But hey, let's practice. Try typing a little bit in English. Hi, hello, I'm learning. This is how you discipline your brain to think in English, to interact with the language and put into practice. Okay? Anyways, I hope I can see your explanation about what a prefix is. Okay? Very nice. A prefix, basically, it's a combination of letters, okay? Maybe two, maybe three letters, okay? Letters, A, B, C, D, L, letters, okay? So a prefix is a combination of letters, okay, that you are going to add, you are going to include, to add, that you add where? In front of a word. So these are letters that you're going to put in the beginning, at the beginning, okay? It's a prefix. So this combination of letters will come in front of a word, okay? Let's think of a very easy word here for me to show you that. Today I'm happy. So let me write here happy. That's a word. It's an adjective. Okay? Now I'm going to add a prefix here. Okay. Unhappy. So this is a prefix. It's a combination of letters. In this case, I have two letters, U, N. And together with happy, I will form a new word with a different meaning, with a different translation. Okay, so unhappy is the opposite of happy. Okay, so this is what we call prefixes. It's a combination of word of letters that will come in front of a word. Okay, it can be a noun. Remember, that's why I focus on those three basic words. It can be a noun, an adjective, a verb, and many other ones. But this is just to help you get started. And why do I say this is important to help you with communication or to help you with comprehension? Because, this is something that I did when I was preparing myself for the Cambridge certificate. It's a very difficult test, especially in the reading part. There are many complex articles to read. And many times in these articles, the authors used a very different adjectives. Okay, my problem was with adjectives. They used a lot of different adjectives, and I struggled with those adjectives. And there were many adjectives that I didn't know. So, what was after reading and reading, what did I think about? I was like, oh, the prefix. Maybe if I study more prefixes, I will help my comprehension. And Priscilla, what do I mean studying prefixes can help my comprehension? Because depending on the prefix you use, you already know the idea, not the translation, the idea of the word. And this is what I want to show you today. I want to show you negative prefixes. What is the idea of a negative prefixes? This combination of letters together with a word that you want to use will always give a negative or opposite idea. And that's why when I started doing this in my preparation for the test, I started to recognize the prefixes. And maybe I didn't know the translation of the word, but I knew it was a negative or opposite idea. And that started helping me with comprehension, understanding conversations, understanding difficult articles that I read all the time, and at that time I read a lot. That's how I improved my vocabulary and comprehension. Okay, and this is what I want to show you today. Negative prefixes. Now, as I said, a negative prefix is a combination of letters, okay, that will give a negative idea or opposite idea. So if we go back to the word happy, we have here unhappy. So unhappy is the opposite of happy, which is also a negative idea. Okay, if someone said here an example, sometimes I feel unhappy. That's a nice example. Now you understand that this is a negative word. It's the opposite of happy. Okay, and I'm going to show you some prefixes that are going to help you identify if the words you are reading are negative or opposite. And by doing this kind of exercise, by studying these words and these prefixes, you will be able to improve your comprehension considerably. Okay? Someone is saying, I need to improve my vocabulary to learn English. Absolutely, you do need to improve your vocabulary. And this is one strategy. Okay, as I said, there are the three types of words that students most struggle with learning are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. And if you think about it, there are important words in English, but these are the most important words. If you are in a conversation, if you are interacting with people, these are very important words, whether you're talking or if you are listening to someone, listening to a podcast. And why is that? Because nouns, adjectives, and verbs, they are keywords. Let me go back. Where? Okay. Oh, no. Okay. So these words over here, they are key words. Teacher Pricks, what is a key word? A key word is a word that is very important in a conversation or in a text. If you don't understand that word, chances are you will not understand the conversation, okay? And in spoken language, when we are speaking key words, we stress, we emphasize these words a little bit more because they are important. They are key words. Usually, when students say, "Oh, teacher, native speakers speak too fast. I never understand what they say," it's probably because you are trying to understand everything they say. And you should not do that. I will make a master class about this in the future, about stressing and pronunciation and keywords. I have some videos here on my channel that talk about that, but here it's important to note that these are keywords, and consequently, because they are keywords, you really need to study them. And if you don't know their meaning, you won't understand the conversation, you will not understand the podcast, you will not understand the article. So the strategy that I'm going to give you here today, that I'm giving you already, is one thing that you can do that will help you start identifying the words and at least understanding the idea. Of course, there are some words that you will need to check because you don't know the meaning. But by looking at these prefixes, you will be able to tell, oh, okay, that's the negative idea, probably. So it's something bad, it's something negative, or it's something that is opposite. And that's what I'm trying to show you here. Okay? Very well. So the most common, let me copy here and paste. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. Okay. It's just small. Okay. Okay, my friends. These are the most common prefixes, okay? Now, teacher, are there more prefixes? Yes, there are. There are more. There are many. Yay! But these are some of them. They are very common. You see them all the time, okay? So, in, ill, depending on how you say it, il. This and is not, okay, guys? It just this. So these are very common prefixes, okay? Now, here, challenge here in the chat. If you know a word that starts with these letters, type here in the chat, okay? I want to see if you know some words that start with these letters, okay? I am excited. Let's see if you know. If you know, post some words here. I will start with one word. Where is my chat box? Oh, here. Unfortunate, dislike. I will put disagree. Okay, disagree is one. Irregular. Come on, guys. More. Excellent. Very nice. Dislike again. Cool. Unfortunate. Very nice. Dislike. Hey, talking about dislike, how about hitting the like button? I would really appreciate if you could hit the like button and if possible, share this video on your Facebook, social media, because when you share, more people get to participate and join the channel. The community is growing and this is awesome. Invisible, unreal, illiterate, awesome. Impossible, cool. Okay. Immortal. Excellent. This is great. Keep coming. Keep them coming. I want to see as many as possible. Okay. This is great. And if you don't know some of them, unfortunately, that is awesome. Now you can have an idea that these words are negative. They mean something negative. They mean something that is opposite. Okay. That's my goal here with showing you these prefixes. Now, let me start showing one by one, okay? I will start showing you. And why do I emphasize prefixes so much? Because as you start to study this beginning of words, the beginnings of the words, you start to better understand the ideas in texts and in conversations, even if you don't know the translation of those words. Okay? If you understand what these prefixes mean, it'll be easier for you to have a better understanding, especially if you are in conversations, because as I told you, these are keywords. And if these are keywords, you will probably understand them more easily in conversations because they are important, they are relevant to conversations. Okay? Now, let's take a look at some prefixes with this. Where is my. Okay. All right, this. Okay, let me show you some. Okay, an adjective, honest. So a person that is honest, okay, is a person that has good principles, that follows the law, that respects people. And the opposite is dishonest. Oh my Lord, where is it? Okay. Now, teacher, okay, I learned this word. That's wonderful. Great. How am I going to memorize this? The best way for you to memorize words is by creating examples. So, for example, I just showed you the word dishonest. If you want to start memorizing these words, the best way to do it is by using it. And how can you use it? You have to create your examples. Okay? So let's say politicians in Brazil tend to be very dishonest. That's my example, and it's true. Let me write here for you. Politicians in Brazil tend to be very dishonest. Okay, dishonest politicians. My goodness, that's horrible. Horrible. So this is one example. Now, if you want to improve vocabulary, this is what you have to do. Oh, Teacher Prix, how many examples should I create? As many as possible. So I think I made a video a few weeks ago, a few months, maybe last year, I don't remember, and I talk about the importance of creating your examples, okay? But not just any example, something that is real for you, okay? If you just create here, let's say I want to practice, so I write here, let me write here. Mary is dishonest. It's dishonest, all right? Mary is dishonest. My goodness. I don't know who Mary is. I don't know anybody whose name is Mary. This example has no relevance to me. It's irrelevant, okay? I don't know any Mary, okay? That's what I mean by creating something that is real for you. When I said politicians in Brazil tend to be very dishonest, it's something that is real for me. It's true. Okay, unfortunately, it's a tendency, and I believe that many countries have dishonest politicians. So, by doing that, it's easier for your brain to remember because you gave an example that is real, that your brain can create memories. Probably when you're doing this, when I started talking about dishonest politicians, I had some images in my mind, some names in my mind, a sensation, a feeling. I felt something when I said politicians in Brazil tend to be very dishonest. I felt sad because it's true. So, by creating this connection of feelings, images, sounds, it's much easier for your brain to memorize that word. That's why I say create an example that is real for you, because then it'll become real for your brain, and the next time you are in a conversation, you will remember that word. Okay? Excellent. Now let's see another word here. Satisfied. Okay? If I am satisfied, it means I'm okay with something. Like a service. I'm happy with a service, or let's see. I'm happy with the service. I am content with the service. And the opposite is dissatisfied. And the opposite is dissatisfied. I am not satisfied. So here, both examples are of negative. Oh, where did my thing go? Of negative things. Okay, so these now, for example, if you don't know the word satisfied and dissatisfied, create your examples. But remember, create something real. Create something real, something that will help your brain make associations, create memories. What I'm doing here with you by showing an example that is real for me is creating an association with the brain, a memory, a feeling, an image, a sensation, a sound. Okay? Very well. Then let's move on to another prefix. Let's see over here. Let's take a look at. Okay. These guys over here. Let me change. Okay. And remember, I want to see your examples. You can keep posting, okay? Now here, the IL, IM, IN, IR. Create some examples here with these prefixes, okay? Now with these guys, usually, okay, it's not a rule like 100%, but in many cases, you are going to, let me just increase the, let's see, how is it? Oh, no, no. Oh God, okay, whatever. In most cases, you're going to use, oh, I hate this, with adjectives. No, I can't, I have to change. Okay. Oh, better. In most cases, you will see these prefixes with adjectives, okay? Remember the three types of words that are super important? Nouns, verbs, adjectives. So you will definitely see ill, im, in, ir with adjectives, okay? So it's common. You may see with some nouns too. It's possible. But here I'm going to focus on some adjectives. For example, legal and its opposite, its contrast, illegal. Okay? If you say something is illegal, it means it's not legal. It's against the law. You cannot do that. For example, here in my country, it's illegal for young people who are under 18 to drive. It's illegal. They cannot drive if they are under 18. They cannot get their driver's license. On the other hand, if you go to the United States, I think if when a teenager is 16, they can get their driver's license. How cool is that? How about your country? When can when can young people get their driver's license? Let me know here in the chat. Very nice. So let's see another example here that I prepared for you. All right. I don't know why it's no. Yes. Okay. Here we have tolerant, okay, and intolerant. I am intolerant to lactose. Oh well, what can I do? But I love chocolate, so I try to eat as much as possible. Okay? Are you intolerant to anything? Let me know here in the chat. So as you can see, there are many words. I was reading some as I was preparing the file for my email list. I was checking some articles just to prove my point, okay? And I checked an article on the Washington Post, I think, New York Times. I also checked some articles on CNN and Huffington. I don't remember the name of the last one. Let's see if it's here. No, I can't. It's not here. Yeah, but I checked in several websites, okay? And it was nice because there were many prefixes, many nouns, adjectives, verbs. So I see someone said inappropriate, that's nice. So these are very common words. And when you start to recognize them, you feel more comfortable reading these words and understanding them, okay? And this is only about it'll only take you some time to take it to the next level. Here I'm helping you improve your comprehension, but if you dedicate some time to studying these lessons, you will consequently improve your speaking, okay? Your speaking and comprehension of when you're talking to native speakers or to people around the world, okay? Let's take a look at another one. Okay. Okay, let me show you three examples here. Okay, the next one that I want to show. Oh, come on. Not here. Here. Okay, I don't know why it's so small. Okay, the last one, un. Let's see here, do. Let me change the color again. If you are enjoying, hit the like button, okay? So when you do something, sometimes it's possible to undo it, okay? So it's the opposite idea. Usually when, for example, this is a verb, usually when you're using prefixes with verbs, you are giving the opposite idea. For example, as I said, agree, disagree. Disagree is the opposite of agree. It is a negative idea, okay? But it's more like an opposite idea. For example, another one, tie, untie. Let me give you an example here to help you better understand what the meaning of tie is. So if I have shoes, I have to tie them, okay? And when I am home and I want to take off the shoes, I will untie them. So this is something that is possible too. Someone typed there, underline, impatient. Our director is tolerant. Okay, he's a very tolerant person. I am satisfied or dissatisfied to learn English. Okay, I get it. You're satisfied. That's awesome. Very well. Now, what is my final recommendation here? I'm giving you some ideas of words that you will start to recognize. Many people they start reading articles in English or they listen to podcasts and they don't pay attention to the signs that the words are trying to give you. And prefixes are a great way for you to identify the possible explanation for that word. If it's a negative word, if it's the opposite idea, there are many other kinds of prefixes and suffixes. I will talk about them in the future as well. But if you are having problems with comprehension, and at the same time you want to improve your vocabulary, I definitely recommend analyzing words like this. You don't need to spend so much time doing that, but for example, now as a homework, what can you do? You can go online and you can try to find an article to read, and you should try to look for words that have these beginnings: in, on, this, because this would be a very productive way to study grammar. Remember, grammar needs to have a context. It's not just about sitting down and doing exercises, not at all. Give it a context. And when you're reading an exercise, you can learn, and when you're reading an article on the internet, you can reveal and learn some vocabulary and grammar, because this is basically a grammar subject. But I'm using this grammar point to prepare you for conversations, okay? Now, before I open to questions and answers, I'm gonna share, where is it? Where is my link? I don't know if you know, I see some people are here and participated in my speaking challenge. Last week was incredible. Many people participated in my speaking challenge. It was really nice, and they got many incredible results. They practiced speaking, reading, listening, writing because they participated in comments. So it was a wonderful way to show that with the right method, you can improve your English from wherever you are. next Monday, and I'm gonna share here an invitation for you. If you already registered, you don't need to register again, okay? These are only for the people who have not registered yet. I'm going to be giving a master class, and I'm sending the link here for you guys to register. I have limited spots. So if you want to participate in a master class next week, and what am I going to be talking about in this master class? Next week, I'm going to be sharing with you my 7 secrets to English speaking, to how you can learn to speak English, okay? And the 7 secrets are based on my experience abroad, my experience with clients from all over the world. I've been working with students from many different countries, and they all share very similar necessities, very similar characteristics, even though they use English for different reasons. At the end of the day, they have the same need, the same characteristics, challenges, difficulties. So I will be sharing my experience based on this time I have been working, and I gathered 7 secrets that I will be sharing with you next week. But there is more. Okay, I will be talking about other things, answering some questions you guys may have, and also I will be giving my opening class to my online program. Some of you already know, some of you don't, but I have an online English program. And next week, next Monday, in this master class, I will be talking about how you can join this online program, how you can participate, what you need to do to register for this online speaking program. It's an online speaking program. It's something that you're gonna practice all the skills. As I always teach here on my channel, to speak English clearly, you need to master all the skills: writing, vocabulary, listening, reading, writing, grammar, because together, combined, these abilities will help you become a better English speaker, a clear communicator with clear intonation, clear pronunciation, and good vocabulary and structure. Okay? So to participate in this free masterclass, okay, all you gotta do is click on the link and register. You will have to inform your email and your name. Then you will receive a second email to confirm. Okay, if you don't see it in your inbox, type teacher pricks in your inbox and you should see my confirmation email. Only after you open this confirmation email you will be officially registered. It's going to be a great class, but as I said, I have some limits of seats, so the earlier you register the better. The master class will be next Monday around 1 hour from now. It'll be at 8:30 p.m. São Paulo, Brazil time. You will receive instructions. Okay, I will send you some emails before that with more instructions. But other than that, I definitely recommend participating in this masterclass. It's going to be great. You will learn about my method, my online speaking program, about my 7 secrets to English speaking, and more. There's more. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it, but you have to register to participate. Awesome. Now it's time for my Q. No, my A to your Q. Okay, time for questions and answers. If you have questions, now is the time. My A to your Q. And put this really huge here. You can start asking questions, my friends, because it is time. I'll be giving about 10 minutes and then I'll be going because I got stuff to do besides here, but let's get started. I see some people have joined. That's awesome. Paulino, Isa, that's great. More people have to join. Okay, that's awesome. The master class is free, Leonardo. If you want to join, then definitely the master class is not paid. It's free. Let's see. Any questions about the lesson? I'll be waiting and then I'll head out. Wow, that was a good class. No questions. Let's see. How to stick the vocabulary in my head. As I told you, you will do that if it becomes a natural process. If you force the vocabulary in your head, you are not going to memorize. But teacher, what is force it? Okay, when you create something that is not real, examples that are not real, when you do exercises just to help you memorize words, you are trying to force your brain into memorizing those words. When you start to create examples, phrases that are connected to your life, to your daily routine, to things you do, then you start to learn them more naturally and they will stick right here. Now, as I said, English is a combination of skills. When we're talking about vocabulary, you need to have different kinds of abilities involved: reading, listening, grammar, writing, speaking. Even if you practice English speaking alone, you need to include speaking. This week in the, well, last week in the speaking challenge, the main focus of my lessons were to make the English speakers speak, even if they were speaking alone. This is also something that I teach my students in my online program, how they can practice English speaking alone. They have speaking exercises to speak during the week because that's how you improve vocabulary. There are many strategies that you need to follow, but if you just write them many, 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 many times, chances are you're just forcing your brain to learn that word and it's not going to be so efficient. Okay? Asa, I understand you, but other people, I don't understand other people. Why? Well, because here I'm talking about English. Okay, let's focus on me. I get this question so much, Teacher Pricks. I understand you, but I don't understand other people. We need to analyze who are these people. Leonardo, I don't agree that it's because of the accent. It's not. It's the subject. I'm here talking about English. I'm here as a teacher. I am talking to you about English. I am teaching you English. Obviously, I have to speak more slowly. I have to use better words to help you better understand me. Okay, that's my goal here as a communicator. As a communicator, I want to make you guys understand me. And then I can give you strategies to help you understand other people. That's what I do here on my channel, in my videos. Now, if you go on YouTube and you type a certain video, how to build a house, that guy is not worried about you understanding him, understanding the words he uses, understanding his accent, understanding how fast he speaks. He is not. That's why I give you strategies here to help you understand these other people that speak more quickly, that have more different vocabulary, that may use more advanced structure, because remember, it's a combination of things. It's not just one. Oh, it's a native speaker. Not necessarily. It's a person that uses different vocabulary. It's a person that does speak a little faster, but it's a combination of things. It's never just one thing. So my recommendation is, if you're having problems to understand other people, you need to analyze what are the moments, what kind of conversations are stopping you from understanding that person. Because what do I do when I watch a video that is difficult for me? Because it happens, okay? When I watch a video that is too difficult for me, I go back to the basics: vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation. Most of the times, in my case, okay, it's vocabulary. So I study vocabulary connected to that video subject. And then, but consistently, it's not just one day I study and then bang, bazinga, awesome. No, you need more consistency, okay, to improve your level of comprehension, okay? Okay, let's see. What's the difference between understand and figure out? Okay, figure out is a phrasal verb that means to understand. However, the only difference, well, the biggest difference is that when you use the verb, the phrasal verb figure out, it means that you thought about it, okay? You had a moment, a process of thinking about that subject and finally understanding it. Okay? Oh my goodness, I finally figured out that riddle that teacher Prick sent to me. Okay? So confusing, but I got it. So you see the difference here. When I say I finally figured out the riddle that teacher Prick sent to me, here I am trying to say that I thought about it, okay? I gave it some thought and then I finally understood it. So that's the idea. Teacher Pricks, could I say understand? Yes, no problems. But figure out would be better in the situation. Okay? Teacher Pricks, how old are you? Is that a question? Okay. Okay. Well, I believe that fluency is something you build over time. Okay. If I compare my English to 2017, my English today is better. So I'm always getting better at my English. But I believe that I was fluent when I was around 21, 20, no, 20 years old. When I was still in Brazil, before I traveled, I could communicate well. I understood movies, I understood people. So I was pretty young, but I didn't have a lot of experience. Okay. So by the time I traveled to the United States, and I'll be talking a little bit about that next week during my master class, by the time I was around 21, I traveled, and that helped me master my skills, but I was already fluent. Okay. Asa, you want to understand the news. Okay, so if you want to improve your understanding of the news, first you need to separate this into categories. Okay, I was reading the news today and I was overwhelmed with vocabulary. There were so many words that I didn't know. So I think that if you want to improve your vocabulary, understanding, your comprehension from articles, you need to analyze the complexity level of these articles because they are complex. They are more challenging. It's much more formal writing if you think about it, depending on the website that you use. So my recommendation is every article that you study, you get like 5 to 10 words that were the most challenging for you, the most new the words that were new for you, and start studying them and trying to see if there is any connection in the articles that you read. But again, articles come from subjects. What are the subjects that you're reading? Again, the broader you are, the more difficult it'll get. So today I was reading an article about economy. For me, reading about economy is easy. Why? Because I study a lot about economy. So that's the point. Try to study more about the subjects, the topics that you like to read about. That's how you're going to improve. Any other questions, guys? I gotta go to one more question and then I have to go. God, it's so hot. And remember to hit the like button, okay? I really appreciate it when you like and when you share. It really helps me. I know I'm asking this a lot because it really helps the channel. Can we use two different prefixes in the same word? At the same time, I'm not sure. Okay, not at the same time, but I believe some words have two possible prefixes. Okay, I would need to check that. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I can't remember a word right now that would have two prefixes, but I believe it's possible. Okay, I believe that some words have two possible prefixes, but I would need to check. Let's see. Mhm. Let's see. Yeah, I still. Yeah, there are some words that have. It's possible. But again, you have to study. Oh, and one thing. Oh, teacher Pricks, how do I know which prefix I use? It's not that easy to know which prefix you use, okay? These ones that I showed you today. The best way, guys, is Google. Dictionaries. Well, actually, I prefer dictionaries, okay? In this case, I'm not so comfortable with Google because today we have many websites that have informal English, that word that is not okay, but in modern language they accept. So I don't like that. So I would recommend So I would recommend checking Oxford dictionaries, Cambridge, Collins, because then you can see the prefix. You can put the word there, and if it's the wrong prefix, it should correct you. There are some books too that you can find that have prefixes. If you go on Google, you can type. There are many materials that are free today for you to find. You can go like a list of prefixes in English, list of words with prefixes in English. It's about being a detective, okay, doing a little bit of investigation. But at the end of the day, for you to know which prefix you use in most cases, you have to discover in a reliable source, okay, a dictionary or an English book that talks about prefixes. Okay? Very well, guys. That is going to be all for today. Make sure to register for my masterclass. It's going to be really nice. I will be talking a lot about my 7 secrets to English speaking, and it may answer some of your questions. I will also be talking about my experience in the United States, my experience abroad, and also be opening the registration for my masterclass for my online speaking program. And many people asking me questions in the beginning of January, which is usually the period when people want to have classes and stuff. So this will be a good opportunity for you guys, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. If you are in my email list tomorrow, you should receive the PDF file, okay? Other than that, share this video with your friends, okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!